Okay. Okay. So I typed in diabetes at the top. Sorry, let me just disable my notifications here. So at the top, I have searched diabetes in Fountain of Life Official. And now, if you see the hidden, because it's a little bit grotesque. If you click on it and you say see photo, it's a bit grotesque, but hey, these are testimonials, right? You'll see here all the different testimonials for diabetes. So what do you want to do, guys? Right? You have a screenshot. So you want to start screenshotting and saving all of these testimonials onto your phone. That's what we do here, right? You got to save it onto your phone. So that's literally how I made my collection of testimonials. Then I changed from diabetes, and let's say I typed in hair instead. Then hair pops up all the testimonials when it comes to people's hair. You guys see this, right? So you guys want to take some time and start creating photo albums. And you want to create individual albums for every different issue, right? Because before I had one album with all the testimonials, but it became hard to find. You want to have different testimonials for different things, white blood cells, hair, diabetes, cancer. You want to separate them so that when you meet someone that has it, you know that you have these folders. So hopefully that's can help you guys again, just to make your own collection. The last thing I want to share with you guys as well too is sometimes I like to send people a short PDF of all the different kind of things, a testimonial that we have. So what I made, I'm going to share with you guys right now on the call. So that's why you're here today, right? Is let's change this to this. Boom. Okay. So here is, well, I'm actually going to copy this and send to you guys. I'll show you what it is first. Basically, I made a quick collection as a PDF, so it's really small as a file, and I send this to my prospects. So it goes from hair to alopecia, down to knee inflammation, right, to gout, to sugar levels, which are diabetes, to kidney, to eyes, to lumps in the breast, to dementia, the brain, to weight loss, liver, blood pressure, right? Weight loss, thyroid, to skin issue now, athlete's foot, to dry skin, eczema, psoriasis, sunburn, head injuries, So it's just a PDF of like a before and after to people. I sent it to them because now they can just kind of browse through it. So do you guys want a copy of this, or you guys don't need it? Yes. If you want a copy, they send me a copy. Okay, yeah, someone said yes. Okay, I'm gonna send you guys. I'm just teasing. Here, everyone in the meeting. Here's the link to that file. Okay, but you can make your own, right? In fact, I've been trying to make a new one and add new stories. I'm always so busy. But anyways, it's there for you guys there. But I would suggest, however, we need it like yesterday. Okay. Let's go hop in our time machine car and go back to yesterday. No, but there you have it. But again, still guys, even with that PDF, you should make your own collection on your phone. And more importantly, teach the team to do the same thing, right? Imagine everyone in your team did this. Imagine how quickly your sales would grow in your team, right? So, so that really concluded most of the approaching. The last part that I get asked is, well, Renee, how do you approach on social media and online, right? So really quickly to talk about that, number one, we have to understand when we approach online and social media, the conversion rate is usually a lot less because they're strangers. We don't know who they are. The great thing about the warm market. Now, let's talk about that really quickly. The warm market, right? Have you ever heard this objection? Well, I don't want to talk to my family and friends first. Who's heard of that? I don't want to talk to my family and friends first. I want to start with the cold market because I can screw up first, right? Something like that. They have this reason or excuse why, right? Or maybe it's you. Because again, if you want to ask me, Renee, how do I make my list? The first thing I'm going to ask you is, on your phone, how many people are on your phone? So if I go to my contact list, well, and you click on like in your settings, it'll tell you all the people you have on your phone, right? And my question for you is, these people on your phone, they're there because at some point in time you knew them, right? You might not be in touch anymore, but at one point in time you were friends or you were acquaintances. So you were acquainted enough for them to add you onto their phone or for you to add them onto your phone. Yes? Yes, guys? You guys with me? Right? There's people on your phone because at some point in time you knew them. So my question for you is, have you contacted every single person on your phone? Have you contacted every single person on the phone? If someone says yes, I'm going to be absolutely shocked because I didn't even say yes. Again, thank you for being honest, because in honesty with ourselves in our business, can we start to have revelations for ourselves, right? So the answer is no. But my question for you is, well, why not? Why not? And most likely, you haven't contacted people on your phone because there's some fear involved. Oh, there's no time. That's an interesting objection there. We can talk about that one later, right? If every day you just call 10 people and you had a phone book of 1,000 people, then in 100 days or 3 months or so down the road, you would have contacted every single person. Someone's being honest and still awake at 3:36 a.m. in the morning in Toronto. Drusilla, thank you for so good. I know you're still here. Folks, let's give a round of applause for our Toronto people who's on the call at 3:30 in the morning. My goodness, talk about, and we have people in our time zone that can't get on this call. It's just shocking, right? But Drusilla says, thank you, Drusilla, for being on the call. Prejudging. You are prejudging these people. You are thinking this person on the phone would not be interested in this product. But my question to you is, well, how do you know that? But there's that fear. I get it. I've been there before too. And what do we say? What do we say when we call these people that we haven't talked to for 10 years, 20 years? Maybe you're 55 or 85 years old and you haven't talked to them for 60 years. What do we say to people? Fear they will say no, but so if we think we have a fear that they will say no, that must imply that you're calling to try to sell them something. But is that the real reason why we should be calling in the beginning? We can't remember them? That's okay. That's even more fun when you call them. So let me teach you guys the solution to all of your concerns, how to approach someone you haven't spoken to for like 50 years, or you forgot who they were in Pamela's case. What I do, and I've done this, so I know. Let's say I'm looking for a friend named, so I'll start with W's for whatever reason, right? So there's W. My uncle Winston's there. I have a neighbor named Winston, and I have to call Winona. So I'm at W. Okay, you can call everyone, right? So, but I haven't talked to Winona for like, I don't know. I know her from karaoke. I don't even know even where I know her from. All right, but doesn't matter. We're gonna call them. Press dial, and here's what you say. So, oh hey Winona. Again, I'm just doing a simulation because it's a Toronto number. They're probably sick. But I say, hey Winona. Wow, long time. It's no talk. Do you still remember me? It's Renee. And they might say, oh hey Renee, yeah, I remember you. That's great. Or they might say, Renee, no. I'll say, who is this again? Right? And I say, well, actually, well, Winona, I mean, I'm not. So if they know who you are, great. If they don't know who you are, here's what you can say. Well, Actually, it's funny because I was looking into my phone book to just to update my phone book and delete a few contacts, and I actually forgotten how I know you as well too. But by the way, how have you been anyways? So now we have a chance to catch up, try to figure out where we know each other. Now, if it's someone that says, yeah, they know who you were, what you can say is, well, yeah, well, actually, you know what's funny is I was looking for a friend named Winston on my phone, and just turns out that I was going through my phone book that your name popped up right above theirs. And I thought, oh my goodness, I haven't talked to Winona for so long, and we're all in lockdown right now. I thought, why not give you a call and see how you're doing? There, done. That was even easier than you going to the bank and trying to approach the bank person. You're gonna have the exact same conversation, right? Like and trust, form, catch up, talk. What do you do for a living? And then show it what you do. So it's the exact same conversation, but it's even easier because you already know who they were, and you might even have a lot of fun catching up with them. Does that make sense, guys? So you're calling someone saying that you're trying to look for someone else in the phone book, but you saw their name, so you want to call them because you want to find out how they've been doing. Wow, they feel like you care about them now. Does that make sense, guys? Are you guys still here with me? Did that make sense? Does that make sense, right? So if you're wondering right now, Renee, I'm in lockdown. I don't know who to talk to. Who do I call? Who do I talk to? I just gave you the answer. Every single person in your phone should get a call. And you should be tracking it as well, right? You should be tracking this. Every person you call, you want to track. Call this person, no answer. Call this person, we caught up. Call this person, right? Right? And do the usual routine. And so, if you want to ask me, the best way to reset yourself in this business, reset and refresh, as our CEO says, make your list today. Start making it right now or after the call is done today, right? And start making these phone calls. And again, we went through the training, right? Like and trust, catch up, ask questions, and eventually you'll have a chance to go and share with them what you're doing, right? And so you don't have to mention that you're in a business. You can just mention, like, here's one last little tip and trick that I've done. Because, sometimes when we meet family and friends, if we tell them that we're taking this product and that we're selling this product, instantly, it doesn't even matter if this is a good product or it's a good or not product, because they know that you're selling it, they will just close off their doors. So how many of you guys have those people, raise your hands or say I know someone who, because they know you're selling this product, suddenly they're going to be like closing their doors and they don't want to hear from you. They think you're trying to sell them something, right? How many of us know someone like that who the moment we tell them that we're selling this thing, they will shut down? Okay, we have about 3 people that have experienced so none of you guys have experienced this problem before. Well, that's wonderful. You have great friends. So I'm sure we all have people like that, right? In fact, if you know your friends well, you will know which ones are like that. Okay. And so what I did, oh yeah, Haley gets awkward silence. That's awkward. So here's what a true story. To this day, it remains true. And what I've done with a few people, especially the ones that I know, because I learned through experience, right? I've done it before. Someone was interested, and then when they found out I was selling it, they became disinterested or not interested. So what I started doing is when I approach someone that is like a family and friend that's like this, I would, catch up with them or chit chat. I say, oh, I say, actually, by the way, I recall that you mentioned that you were having issues with like your sugar levels, or they tell you something like that, right? So once you find out again what is their issue, what I would say is, oh, by the way, there's actually a product out there that I think you might want to give it a try. It's called the Fountain of Life, and actually, my dad has also high sugar levels. So I actually bought this product for him, and it really helped him fix his sugar. I'm talking like in 1 week, his sugar levels went back to down to normal. It was really quick, and I really think you should give it a try. So now again, they're interested because they don't know that you're selling it and that it helped your dad. So use like a third party, actual like story, right? And then they might ask you, well, yeah, like I mean, so like well, I'll look into it, or yeah, I mean, I really want to try it. Where can I buy it from? And this is where some people made the mistake and they say, oh, well, actually, no, I'm actually the one who's selling this product. You can buy it from me. And boom, suddenly they're all turned off again, right? What I would do instead is I would say, well, by the way, I just so happened to order about 13 bottles. I got a bunch more for my dad, and I got a bit for myself as well because I wanted to try as well too. And I have some extras actually in my car. I just got the order recently. Of course, you have it with you always right in your car, but you're telling them that you just ordered the product and you have a few extra bottles. And if you want, you can buy one of the ones that I bought and save on shipping. Sure, great. So I have customers till this date, um, because they're not really on social media, like they're not on my Facebook or my whatever it is. They don't even know that I'm the one who's actually selling this product. I have people to this date that just think that I just buy it in bulk, save on shipping, and they're buying it from me. Because I know that um, because I already know that the moment they think that I'm selling it, that they will close down and not be open to trying. However, here's the thing though, once they try the product and now they're experiencing benefits, it doesn't matter anymore if they find out that you're selling it or not, because they've already been sold on the product. They already want the product. It doesn't matter if it's MLM or if it's a retail business. Does that make sense, guys? People don't care anymore because they have already started using the product and they already want the product. Once someone wants the product, it doesn't matter how you sell it, MLM, direct sales, franchise, online e-commerce, they just want it anyways. But the key thing was in the beginning, if you have these kind of people out there that you think would be like that, that is my solution. Thank you, Karimi. I'm glad that you think it's brilliant. I thought it was brilliant for myself because it worked. Um, so, anyways, that was the last piece of, I guess, approaching. We used to call the topic approaching objections. So objections that you would get during the approach phase for the business, right? Um, and so again, I hope that that training for the approaches has really helped you guys. Why don't we take a quick pause, open up any questions that people might have about this approach topic, and ask your questions, and we can take another quick, maybe 10-minute break here. We can end a bit earlier today because our last topic that we have is actually on handling objections. That's always a fun one because you guys get a chance to ask me and ask Rico and Amaji and the leaders here, and how would you handle this objection? Someone says, I have no time, I have no money. Is it one of those things, right? How do you handle those objections? That's going to be the last topic, I believe, for today. Let me see here the topics that we had. But for now, was there any questions from anyone regarding my training so far? Anyone have any questions? You feel free
Hey,
to.
Renee, you're still here.
Hey, Drusilla, good morning still.
Good morning. I'm keeping up. I'm keeping up. Okay, so my question to the approach is how do you approach the older folks? Not just about the product, but about the business opportunity, because there's so many of them out there that is, working through their retirement or getting their retirement, but they're barely making um,
Enough to
headway of
survive.
that. So how do we approach them in a delicate way, or anything that you can share with me? Because when it comes to that and talking to them, I can approach other people, but it's just harder with the older folks. So if you can help with that, thanks.
Sure, of course. I mean, I've definitely approached, elderly people as well too. And the one thing that I would do during the like and trust phase, in talking about family, occupation, recreation, and money, is, kind of ask questions about retirement in the sense that, like, oh, like, by the way, how long have you been working here for? And oh, I've been working here for the last 3 years, right? As oh, you must really enjoy what you're doing. Oh no, I'm just doing it to get by, or I actually do enjoy it. Um, and a lot of times, again, it depends if you're close to them or you're not close to them. If it's someone that again that you're meeting like randomly on the street, I would definitely still stick with the product approach in the beginning. But if it's someone that you know already, that's like a family and friend that's just older, um, there's different approach scripts that you could use. For example, one could be, by the way, if I could share with you a way, and I love this whole approach of can I share with you, right? If I could share with you a way to help you to retire a few years earlier, would that be of interest to you? So the whole question, the structure of the sentence is, uh, uh, if I could show you something, would you be of interest? So if I could show you how to earn some extra side income to help you with retirement, would that be of interest to you? If I could help show you how to retire a bit sooner, would that be of interest to you? If I could show you how to improve your diabetes, would that be of interest to you? So essentially, you kind of have to lead in with something that would, I guess, kind of appeal to them, right? And definitely, if I was in a situation and I was getting much older, want to retire a lot younger, and someone to offer me a way to perhaps add some extra income or to be able to retire sooner, I would say yes. And if they say no, then so be it. Then unfortunately, and by the way, when someone says no to me, especially in these kind of situations with these elderly people who should be retired but they're still working, I actually feel sorry for them. Like, if they say no, I'm like, well, wish you the best because I feel sorry for them. They have to work that many hours still, right? But that's where I find that approaching with the product still works best because typically when they're that age, they have some sort of, sore joints or pain. And someone that's, at just like a Walmart working that long, they're probably, walking all day long and they might be, have knee pain, whatever. And you might want to ask them, right? Oh, by the way, like, do you ever get tired, standing here all day long? Yeah, my back hurts, my knee hurts, because you're actually showing them that you actually care about them. You're concerned about their well-being. And so they might say, yeah, well, I mean, my feet are actually really sore and my joints hurt when I get back home. So, well, actually, if I had a product that I could refer to you that might really help you reduce that pain, would that be of interest to you? Well, sure, yeah. And so again, so I typically still like to lead with the product approach first. Because once they get the product and they like the product and they're having benefits like a week later or the next day on the product, I could then ask them, well, by the way, I noticed that you're still working this job and you're basically there, still during when you should be retired. If I could show you a way to take this product and add some monthly residual income, whether it's 500 a month or 1,000 a month by sharing this product, would that be of interest to you? And because they're already on the product, they're already taking the product, they're probably even already referring their friends and family, they would then be open to learning about the business. So that's why it kind of goes back to, I always still like to focus on the products first because it can lead to the business later. Did that help, Drusilla? Okay, she says, great, thanks, Renee. So hopefully that did help.
It does. Thank you so much, Renee.
Oh, you're very welcome. Again, thank you very well for hanging. I know you're still hanging in there. If you're gonna fall asleep and hop off, don't worry about that. We do appreciate you as well too. So, all right.
I'm going to be on the Daniela's training, the Saturday morning training.
Oh yes. Well, again, thank you for your dedication. Again, folks, 4 in the morning and she's still on our training call. That's a great.
I have a great mentor, Renee. And that is you. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you, Gisela. Awesome. All right. So Haley says, Renee, how would you approach a passerby that looks like he or she needs FOL? Yeah. So basically, again, going back to our approach training, first things first that we gotta do is we gotta say hi, and with a smile, right? Hi, how's it going, right? And I'm assuming that you're saying that they look like he or she needs because maybe they're limping or they're really overweight, or maybe, they're in pain. Yeah, just say, hey, how's it going? And good morning to you. And say, and I'm assuming they're walking down the street somewhere. I might just say, yeah, are you out for a nice stroll today? Just like some random comment about you out there going for a stroll, going for a walk somewhere. And they might say, oh yeah, I'm just going to work. I'm just going for exercise. I'm just going for whatever. So, so you can ask a question like, are you just exercising? Are you going somewhere today? And then they'll answer you. Yeah, I'm just going for a walk. I'm going to work. And say, oh, say, by the way, I noticed that you're actually limping. Like, is your leg okay? Right? Again, just be of care and concern, right? Because to a lot of people, it's funny. We just don't often feel like people care enough about us. That's just the way that the world is like nowadays, because there's social media and people aren't really talking to people. And, I mean, it's saddening because whenever I see someone, um, struggling outside with something, I always try to help them, and I teach my kids the same thing. Like, if you ever see someone who's in need, offer a hand, you know what I mean? Of course. And so, but anyways, they open the door for someone. But people just often don't have the feeling that people actually care about them. So just ask me, hey, I know that you're actually limping. Like, are you actually all right? Oh yeah, well, yeah, I had this pain. So again, same approach there. Well, again, well, by the way, I had this. I have a friend of mine who had the same kind of issue, and they had this product that they're using called it's called the Fountain of Life. I'd really suggest you to look at it and give it a try, because apparently it helped them with their pain right away, and it's all natural. That would be my approach. And they might say, oh, well, thank you. I say, yeah, actually, it's funny. I just, my friend actually gave me one of their brochures, because she always be ready, right? They actually gave me one of their brochures. Here, why don't I just give you the brochure that I got from them? Here you go. And now you can, if you have time, you can go over the brochure, right? If not, then you just give them the brochure and let them be on their way. Does that make sense, Haley? So, so you'll notice a lot of repetition in how we do things. It's just how you sort of open it up in the beginning to that conversation. Okay, so I see we have some hands raised as well too. So Vasanthi, yeah, did you have do you want to share something or ask a question? Let me see if I can have you unmute yourself.
Sorry, I think it was a mistake. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're just saying hi then. Okay.
Yes, hi. I'm enjoying it. Thank you so much, Reni. It's really, really very motivating. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, again, thank you for being on training, and you're very, very welcome. And I was going to lower your hand for you there. But no, again, thanks for being on the call.
I'm not so good with this, you see.
It's how we learn. It's how we learn, right? One day at a time.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
anyway,
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
No, go ahead. Do you want to say something, please? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, it's just that you go with a lot of positive feelings, and you approach the people, they are friends, and it's nice that they accept, but then they don't come back to you. That's the thing, you see. That's discouraging.
So you mean that you showed them the information, you gave them perhaps the information, and so actually, here's the thing. Oftentimes when we approach people and give them the information, it's not that they're trying to avoid you. I mean, that might happen in some cases, but in my majority of my experiences, majority of the time, the person just got too busy. Like, we have to remember that people have their own lives. They're so busy as it is already, right? And sometimes, unless they have this huge pain like gout that they're dealing with, and this would be like something that's really in the forefront of their mind. But if they're overall, healthy, or sometimes they're just so busy that everything else becomes like in the background for them, right? So that's why the follow-up is very, very important. We used to have a saying in the industry: you follow up until they call the cops. I'm just kidding. Right? Don't go that far. But you definitely want to make sure that you do a follow-up. And the way that I do my follow-ups really quickly is I just send to someone, say, oh, hey, John, hope you're doing really well. Just wanted to send to you some new testimonials that I saw of people using the fountain of life. Because the best way, actually, to do a follow up with anyone is to send a new testimonial because it's showing more real life stories. And then you can ask, oh, by the way, do you get a chance to look at the brochure I gave you the last time we met?
Mm.
But you did it while you sent maybe 2 or 3 new testimonials to that person, right? And you'd be surprised. A lot of them are like, oh, actually, no, I just totally forgot to get back to you. I meant to, but I forgot. That happens a lot to me, actually. So, yeah, so that's why instead of us leaving it to fate to see if they contact us back or not, and to save us from maybe overthinking things, maybe we're overthinking things, the
Yeah.
best way is to not leave it to fate or destiny. Just do your own process, do the follow up, and then you'll know for sure of how they're doing. And you know what? It's really shocking. I have a coworker of mine that's been using I've known him since I was a programmer. He knew me till I quit my job, till I became a millionaire, and all this stuff. He finally started taking FOL last year, or sorry,
Mm.
this year.
Mm.
So for like 15 years, he's known what I've been doing.
Wow.
And he just started taking the product. But I've been telling him since 2018 when the product launched. He just started taking it like this year. So, so for some people, it's funny. The longer you remain in something, they see you still doing it 3 years from now, 4 years from now. What
Yeah.
it's telling them is, wow, this must be a really good product. In order for Renee or Vasanthi to still be doing this, I better actually take a look at it now. So that's why we say you follow up to the call it cut, because it's in other words, we call it infinite follow up, because at some point in time, when someone says no, they're not really saying never.
Mm.
No just means not now,
Not
and
now.
not now doesn't mean not tomorrow. Like not now can be coming back tomorrow. I might be open for it, right? So that's why we say infinite follow up. I hope that helps.
Very much, very much. Thank you so much, Reni. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
God
very
bless.
welcome. Yeah, you're very welcome. And you know what, guys? Like, I think we can, from Rico's training this morning, the one thing we all know here is how powerful the products are in our business, right? So, the way that I lead my morning, and I'll share this with you as the last thing before our break, and then we'll do the last part called handling objections, is your attitude when you wake up in the morning and your attitude throughout the day. Like what's in your mind? What's going on, right? Every morning when I wake up, it's become a routine for me now. Every morning when I wake up, I do 3 things. The first thing I do is I give thanks. I give gratitude. I don't know if you believe in religion or if you have a God, whether it's God or Allah, or Buddha, whatever you believe in. I always just give thanks that I'm alive. I think to wake up every morning is a gift. Sorry, if you heard people screaming, it's because they're playing mahjong. So my wife is playing mahjong while I'm doing this training.
Hi,
So,
Renee. Hi, Renee. Can I
yeah,
share something?
yeah, sorry, go ahead. Yeah, sorry. You want to share something?
Yeah, I wanted to share about how I approach people or close them. So
Please.
usually I tell them that, okay, you are working. I know you are working, but where do you see yourself 3 to 5 years? And they usually cannot answer my question because they're not sure.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, and also I asked them that, okay, if you are working, right, and you are taking the products, why don't you join the business and get the products as discount price? And when you're ready, you can build it. And usually I also sell them the product first. And when they come and when they reorder, right? So sometimes they order 3 bottles, sometimes they order 6 bottles. I usually tell them that, each bottles I'm making $30 from you. And then I said 6 bottles, I'm making $180 from you. Why don't you join the business and get a discount price, and your family can use, you can use, and you can share with the people that you love. So
I
yeah,
love that. Thank you, thank you. And
you're
by the way,
welcome.
guys, I think Emoji is like the queen of approaching. I mean, we have a lot of queens of approaching, like they're master networkers, like Ifra's one of them, Venetia is one of them. We have like Lucy and Nancy and a team like Kenya as well too. We have a lot of people that are just like, by the way, guys, like my training, I mean, I would love to get the other leaders to share their thoughts too on how they do their approaching closing, because they are real people that have had great success, and they're masters too. So yeah, thank you, MG, for sharing.
Yeah, welcome, welcome. Yeah. So yeah.
And thank you. I did want to answer Elena Ng's comment about the taste, because that is also an objection I've gotten before. I'm going to teach you guys how to handle that and to deal with that as well too. I did see a hand being raised by Avelina Miranda. Do you want to say something there? Go right ahead, Avelina.
Hi, Renee. Good afternoon.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, everyone. Yeah. Thank you, Amarjeet. I was about to ask Renee about that because, I'm from the corporate world, and it's really, taking a lot of, not disappointments actually, but it's the people from the corporate world are really are those who are very comfortable with what they are doing. They are very comfortable. They have that fear to leave, to join another, this kind of thing. That's why I was about to ask, what is the best approach in to this with this kind of people? I think I heard Amarjeet. I don't know if you also have some tips on that, Renee.
Oh, yes, of course, of course.
And
Actually,
especially from my circle of friends are in they belong to the management team. So I'm so blessed that I belong to the management team. So these people, they are about to retire. They have the money, so they just don't feel that they don't need it. They don't need this kind of business. Can I have some tips, please?
oh, I'm gonna give you a super juicy one. But I see Emergy wants to say something too. You want to go, Emergy?
I mean, I always tell them, I understand that you have the money, you have it, definitely you need the health, right? So how many products are you taking for your health? So they will say, okay, I'm taking this, taking this, taking this. So I said, what about if I tell you I can give you one product that help you A to Z?
Yeah. Wow, that's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay,
And
so here's
sorry.
what I would do. I just shared this on my Facebook actually. This is actually a newest, and this applies to every country in the world, right? Is the pension. So in this one here, this article talks about the maximum amount of CPP is the Canada Pension Plan. Okay, it's what you can get when you retire. Okay, and you can see here. Look at this, right? Assuming you're 65 and you've contributed the maximum every single year. So every year, so that means that you started at the age of like 19, the legal age of working, or 16, whatever it is. And every year from 16 to 65, which means you've worked about 49 years of your life in a row, and you've contributed the maximum to your CPP, then the maximum payout per month is $1,000 Canadian per month. Now, mind you, the average income in Canada is about $3,000 per month. And that's barely enough. You will not even survive on that because you have home insurance, you have your property tax, you have your car insurance, you have your cell phone bills, you have your hydro bills, all those bills, right? So I love to share this article with those kinds of people in the corporate world because I was like them. I had a job making $80,000 a year. And yet I realized, oh my goodness, if I work all the way to 65, all I'm going to get upon retirement in a monthly income is $1,200 here. Would that be enough to cover your cost of living, right? And so here's the question I asked them is if I could show you a way within 2 to 5 years to have a minimum monthly income, minimum of $5,000 Canadian per month, would that be of interest to you? So instead of working all the way to 65, you can work for another 2, 3 to 5 years and retire at a younger age and enjoy the rest of your life. And if you really wanted to, you can even keep your job. But would you be open to seeing how you can do this? Right? So I hope that makes sense. You can always find some.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Amarjit, and of course, Rico, for this bootcamp. Amazing training. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And you see here, in actuality, the averages in Canada is not even 1,200. That's the maximum. Most people, don't even do that. So the average amount you're getting in Canada is $700 per month. Like, that's not going to, so sometimes people are too caught in the moment and they're not thinking about their future. So I just I showed them this article. I put it on my Facebook page, but I would send that article to those people that you're talking about and say, by the way, like, this is what you're going through. This is what's going to happen for you. Would you be open if I could show you a way to earning $5,000 a month in 5 years? Monthly residual income every single month, right? So that's what I would do. And just to sort of cover off what I was, and again, folks, I saw that someone wrote that, yeah, they are maybe afraid to leave their paycheck. Don't forget, we're not asking people to quit their jobs. I never quit my job. My plan was doing this business part-time on the side. Can I build up a monthly income in 2 to 5 years of $5,000 per month? That was my goal. That was actually my goal. In 2 to 5 years, make a monthly residual income of $5,000 per month. And why is that a good goal? Because you just saw the pension in Canada, if you even have a pension in your country, is $1,000 a month at best. So if I can make $5,000 a month in 5 years while having my full-time job, yeah, so we're not telling people to quit their jobs. We're saying, do you want to add some extra income with the option to be able to retire in the next 2 to 5 years, right? So, and the last part before we move on to the objection, I want to cover Elena's question there about the taste, is just to finish off how I wake up. Every morning I just give thanks for being alive. Number two, I reconfirm that today will become the best day ever. I think if we live our life thinking that today is going to be the best day ever, it's a great way to start your day. And the third thing I ask myself is, how many people can I help today? I believe if you wake up with that servant mindset of helping others while appreciating what you have, that is the best way to lead. And that's why when I'm out there sharing this product, I am 0% attached to the outcome. Someone could tell me, Renee, I hate you, or that never happened. I'm just being really, really dramatic here. But they could be the most negative person, the negative prospect, the most rude and disrespectful prospect in the world. It does not bother me. I could have my best friend, I could not take this product. It does not bother me. I do have best friends that initially didn't take the product, and I kept seeing their health get worse and worse. I said, Ray, I said, look at us. We're the same age. And bro, like you're one of my bros. I've known you for the last at least 7 years. Dude, like look at your face. Look, I mean, I'll just be, if I can be really honest with you, man, like you're aging a lot faster because you're so stressed out with your business, right? Bro, like you need to take this product because he was taking skincare. I said, you watch skincare. I mean, you use skincare, right? He's like, yes. I said, you use skincare because you know that if you don't use skincare in 10 years from now, you look a lot older. Yes? He said, yes. I said, well, if you use skincare, it's because you want the antioxidants on your skin. You can see the difference, but it's more important to take the antioxidants into our body because we know if it works on the skin, it's going to work even better inside. And so finally, he started taking the product, but I still have friends to this day. I still have some relatives. I still that they see all my posts on Facebook. They know how good it is. I suggested for them to take it, and for whatever the reason, they don't. It does not bother me, and it cannot bother you either, because you are not going to be attached to the outcome. All you're doing in this business is doing your best to share with as many people and consistently sharing how good this product is. And that's the mindset that I wanted you guys to have, so that when you're approaching someone, there's no fear. There's no fear of rejection. They can be rude. It does not bother me, right? And so I just say, hey, have a nice day. Take care, right? Because here's the thing: if we react, if someone's being rude to you, and you're like, well, you don't have to be rude, and what's wrong? What's wrong with you, right? Guess what? I'm pretty sure you'll never have that person as a customer. But if someone was, whatever reason, and you were just polite about, well, hey, thank you for your time, appreciate that. And then 5 years from now, they still see you selling this product, there's still a chance that might be your customer. So never burn your bridges, as the saying goes. I learned that lesson a long time ago as well. Never burn your bridges. Oh, Gisela, I see your hand being raised. Do you want to share something too, Gisela? Please.
Yes, quickly. Sorry, Renee.
Oh,
You're talking about approach right now. How do you approach family members that comes into the business? They come in, but they're not doing anything. And when you try talking to them about it, they make it seem as if they're doing you a favor. So how do you talk to them about getting them to push to the next level? Because they saw the product, it's great. They came into business, it's great, but they're not doing anything. So I'm just trying to give them that nudge. But because it's family members, they kind of just like, yeah.
Yeah.
I did you a favor by coming in here. I don't really need to. So how do I get to that point of?
Yeah. So
Thank you.
I truly believe that if you can master this business of MLM, you'll be good at any business out there, because like you really have to have all the skills to do this, right? And so that's why if you can succeed in this business, you can succeed anywhere in life. But back to your point though, sometimes with our partners, there's a saying that goes, right? You can't drag a dead person through mud, because you'll end up getting stuck in that mud and you will sink and get stuck yourself too. So that's one thing. It's keep in mind that our job is to try to motivate someone a little bit here and there, but at the same time, we're MLM it's a fine line, right? How much do you spend in trying to motivate someone who's not motivated for themselves? And what you'll find is that sometimes it's just timing. And all we can do is just be that positive inspiration for them and help them like remind themselves, right? I think this ties into the same point that Evelina just had just now, which is how do I talk to someone who has a corporate job? They're so comfy, right? They're so comfy in their jobs. How do we motivate them to get out of that? And I think sometimes we have to help them paint the picture again is, what you're doing right now. I love MJ's question. Where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years from now? And is that really where you would want to be? Or what if you could have a different lifestyle and be retired in 3 to 5 years? Or keep your job and make an extra $5,000 on top. How would that do for you, right? And sometimes if you felt like they feel like they're doing you a favor, sometimes we have to put that foot down, Drusilla, and be like, hey, no, sorry, excuse me. Excuse me with that. Is put our foot down and say, and just have that heart-to-heart talk. Say, hey, John, I just want to remind you that you're in this business for yourself. You're not in it for me. You're in it for yourself because you're a partner, right? So end of the day, I'm here to help because I want to help you succeed. But what do you want for yourself? So the only way I find to get someone to get motivated in the business is to kind of like do a bird's eye overview, help them see their own bird's eye overview, which is what MJ's question was about, is where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years from now, right? But sometimes, as much as we do, it might not have any impact on that person. But at the very least, I would make sure that they understand that they're not doing you a favor, but that you're actually doing them a favor by bringing this opportunity to them as well. So yeah, again, it might just be that this person would never ever be self-motivated to go and do the business, and we have to expect that because that's just the way it is, right? But at the very least, with that mindset of every morning waking up, see who can we help today. I think with that kind of a mindset and just trying to help people to retire younger and earlier, I think that's a great way to leave to live your life. So does that make sense, Drusilla? Just try to check in with them, look at their future retirement, how they look at their planning, and say, look, if you want to make money, you have to put time into this business like many others have, right? And it might take a year, it might take 2 years, it might take 5 years, it might take 10 years, it might take forever. It might never happen for them, but all we can do is be process oriented and do the things and the follow-ups that we should be doing anyways. So hope that helps.
We have Nora on the hands up too.
Well, we have more and more Canadians. It seems like they sleep so late or stay up late. I saw we had Henry on the call as well.
Too, yes.
Yeah. So Nora, yeah, do you have a question or a comment there? Hey Nora, your hand is.
Hi, Renee.
Hi.
Actually,
Hi.
I'm lying down off and on, and I fell asleep, and then I woke up.
Totally understandable. It's 4:20.
I heard the approach and a perfect time because that's my issue really. But anyways, like especially an invite as well. So you covered all that. My question to you is, how you offer, because me, I always have that helping hand, right? I know we have the solution, and then once I give them, like, say, okay, where can I get that? And then we said, okay, you can get it online, and I give them the brochure, and they saw your name on the tag, and then they was oh, they said you're just trying to help because you want to sell. So what do you do?
So actually,
Because it's like,
yeah, great question. By the way, on my brochure, at the back of it, I don't actually like. I have my name, my phone number, and my email address, right? And because what happens here is when they want to buy, I want them to reach back out to me again. Does that make sense? And so basically, you don't put your name. Yeah, like someone just wrote there. You don't put your name on the URL. Or if you do put your name, like you can just maybe not put Nora Bastian on the bottom of your site. You can just put no name there. Does that make sense? So they don't know what they're actually buying it from you, because you can kind of modify what they see on your FOL landing page, right? But the easy way is just don't put the actual website, because it already has FOL.1, right? But when they try to buy on this website, it will say, oh, please contact the person who who had referred you. So then they're not seeing that you're the one who's actually selling it. Does that make sense?
yeah, I was doing it because I have my grandson's account. So basically my retail sales are on my grandson's account
Good,
as well.
smart. Yeah, good.
But that's one thing I do. When I offer somebody, when I promote, I have my grandson's. I use a brochure with my grandson's account.
Yeah,
So it's not me, because I heard you one time. That's, oh, actually I have it in my car. I just bought a family pack. So if you want, I know you did that one too. So when you're giving the brochure, so what I use my grandson's account on the thing. So
yeah, I use Heidi's. I use Be Healthy. It's her URL, and it says Heidi Sal. So I'll say, oh, I'm just helping my friend with her business. I don't, because they don't know it's me then, right? So yeah, we have to dance on our feet sometimes in this business. Yeah. So
thank you so much.
No, thank you for being on the call, Nora. I hope you get some good rest. All right. So why don't we take a quick break here, folks? And the last topic here is just handling objections, which is, we're kind of doing that right now too. But I'm going to run to the toilet one more time. We'll see you guys back in about 5 minutes, 4:28, and we'll finish off with handling objections that we'll be done by 5 p.m. Sound good, everyone?
Just a minute. I think you have not talked about the taste for, I think it was Eleanor who asked.
Yes. That'll be part as the last part, which is the handling objections part.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
thank you for the reminder though, Pamela. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
Hey, 5 minutes. Yeah. Please
5
keep on talking in the meantime. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back, and thank you so much for being on the train today, guys. We're almost done here. The last stretch here is just really about how to handle objections. So I guess we'll just wait 2 more minutes as we say to 4:28. And I'm just gonna open up one quick PowerPoint here. I love this part, how to handle objections. So much fun. You're probably thinking, how can that be fun, Renee, handling objections? Well, if you actually learned this training, you realize that it's actually just back and forth. You know, they say something, you have a response for it already. So I actually really enjoy this topic of handling objections, and once you learn how to handle one objection, you kind of know how to handle all of them, and it just becomes the same thing over and over and over again. So okay, it's gonna open up this PowerPoint here, not this one. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, so let me just share my screen again, and I'm going to cover a quick few key points, and then have you guys share your objections, and I'm going to help you guys address them. Okay, so here we go. 4:27. Is everyone ready to get started? Hopefully everyone's still there, and we're only about 1 minute away, but I want to take a good time to cover all of this stuff here. So, handling objections. The reality is, don't expect to ever get less objections. You'll always get them in every possible thing you can think of. Again, just wish for more skills to know what to say when you get the objection, because again, it's not like only certain people have this objection. Everyone can, of all countries, of all types, can have the same kind of objection. It's how we handle them. And if you can handle them really well, you will have a new customer, you'll have a forever customer, or you'll have a new business partner. Okay, so just always remember though, the objections are simply unanswered questions. Okay, and they're usually fear-based or due to lack of knowledge. So it's not really like, it's kind of like that they're saying no, but just be very, very pleasantly persistent in helping them get past every one of these objections. Because once you get through all the objections and they have nothing to object about, they're going to then move on to the next step, which is becoming your customer or your partner. Okay. And one key thing though is don't create more objections. So I've heard some people during closing bring up all these other topics unrelated. It creates even more questions or objections for that person. Just don't ever do that, basically. So also know that 60% of consumers say no 4 times before making a purchase. In fact, whatever you want to buy in the past, most likely, if you want to buy the new iPhone or a MacBook or an iPad, you said no 4 times in your mind before you actually ended up buying that thing in the end. So you will only fail with someone's objections if you just give up too soon or you don't know what to say. And that's why we had the 3 Ds. In objection handling, you must have, number one, determination. Be determined to help them get over their issues. Be patient, right? Don't be frustrated or have lack of patience. Number two is have the proper dialogue, know what to say. And the beautiful thing about our business is you don't have to be a genius with like an engineering or medical background to know how to answer these objections, right? I literally listened to the CEO and Sinaz on how they answered my prospects' questions. I learned what they said, the dialogue, and just repeated it when I had the next question come up with the same question. And the last part is the delivery. How are you answering the objection? If you look impatient, if you look frustrated, if if you're hustling about too much, or if you don't look calm, it's not going to look good. In handling objection, the more calm you are and the more reserved you are, and you just, the more polite you are, yet you have the right dialogue and the determination to get through it, it's going to do you a million wonders for yourself. All right. So always remember, be very, very composed, good patience, be polite, and be genuine about helping them with their objections, right? Of course, you always want to have the proper energy, enthusiasm, and excitement. So a lot of times people are, there's a saying, look at your prospects' energy levels, and you want to match it and go a little bit higher. So be a little bit more enthusiastic. So if they're really, really excited, be excited. If they're really, really down, just you don't want to be overly excited because then they don't feel that relation to them. Kind of be with them, but more on the one step higher. Just have good energy, good enthusiasm, and good excitement as well too. And so we already have now, of course, the tripod of belief. So we have that confidence, we have the knowledge in the company, and use this technique. It's called the feel, felt, found. So what that means is anytime you have an objection, like, oh, Renee, I want to do this, but I'm so worried. I don't really have much money to invest in something else. Or Renee, I don't really have the time. So this technique here called the feel, felt, found, what you say is, and you all write it down. It's simple. Whatever the objection, the first thing you say is, well, first of all, John, actually, I know how you feel. Instantly, when you say that, to them, they don't feel like you're on a different stratosphere or atmosphere that you're on. They feel like you actually are on the same plane, the same field. They feel like you understand them because you just told them, by the way, John, I know how you feel. In fact, I felt that way before. So I know how you feel. I felt that way before about not having, enough money to invest in this business. But what I found out was ... So the structure goes, I know how you feel. I felt that way before, but what I found out was, so when you say I know how you feel, you can give an example, right? I had a full-time job and, I didn't have much savings. So I know how you feel. And I felt that way before, but what I found out was, and now you come the dialogue. Here's where you can deliver the solution to their problem, right? So what I found out was that, even though I had a job, I was tight on money. I knew that in order for me to have a better life, I have to use a little bit of money to make more money. That's what the wealthy people do. If I had no time, I realized if I want more time in the future, I must use a little bit of time now to get more time for the future. Otherwise, nothing will change. I'll always be busy. So that's the structure that you can use when it comes to handling any kind of objection as well too, okay? So even with Elena's objection, and this is the structure, the rest of them are all different kinds of objections that we have in the PowerPoint, but because of timing, I wanted to address the ones that you guys are bringing to me. And Elena's objection was some people, because of the taste, it's whatever it is, they stop taking it because it's a turnoff for them, right? So really quickly on the taste, what you will find, and I hope you guys write this down, is if you can set the expectation up front, you will risk any disaster later on. So when I tell my customers, every single one of my customers, when I take this product, I always let them know, like, by the way, this product here, when you first take it, it might taste a bit woody and a bit bitter. Okay. But because again, but what you'll find though is after a few weeks that the taste become more sweet and you will get used to it. In fact, I always tell them that bitter things are always good for you. Bitter melon, spinach, kale, flax seeds, right? Whatever is bitter is actually better. So I was telling you, it might be a bit bitter, but guess what? Bitter is actually better for your health. It helps because you have five senses, and you want to make sure that you have a good balance. So if you're always eating too salty or too sugary or whatever it is, the one that is actually the most not liked is the bitter, but it's necessary to have a well balance. So basically what you're doing here is you're forewarning your person to expect it will be bitter, to expect that it might not taste good. But again, I think most of us on call here, we don't mind the taste. Like I don't even care about the taste. So that's one thing, is to set that up front that it might taste bitter, but to also let them know that it's good for the health. I also explain to people that if you find it really bitter when you first take it, it's probably because your body is more acidic, meaning you might have a higher uric acid reading. You're more acidic. So when you're more acidic, things taste a lot more bitter to you. So by taking this product, it will help you to adjust your body's acidic levels back to normal. So you'll find out that like when you have too much like uric acid, for example, that you will find this product is actually really, like myself, my uric acid was actually a lot higher. After taking it, it actually went down. And that relates to mosquito bites, right? If you have often get mosquito bites, it's probably because you're more acidic, you have more uric acid, right? You're more energetic. So another key thing that I always tell them that is that if you do find it bitter, it's because your body is actually not quite balanced. You need to take this product to adjust that as well. So one part of it is to set that objection, that expectation story up front so that they expect it, right? They're not gonna be surprised about it. And you can tell them, oh, by the way, like you can take it with your, coffee or your tea or your juices. But what's even more important that I tell my prospects is, I don't care if this tastes bad, if it's good for my health. Straight up, like just be straightforward like that. I was like, even my kids take this. Like, my children can take this. If my kids can take this, why can't you take it, right? If you can't handle it, it's probably because it means that your body is really not doing too well. But regardless, I mean, who cares? Like, put it in your mouth, swallow it, drink water, drink coffee after the taste is gone, right? So sometimes, we had to kind of give that bit of tough love with certain kind of prospects. But I do find that most people don't have an issue with the taste anyways. But if they do, that's what I would tell them as well. So hope that helps with that objection. And I see Nora has her hand raised. Nora, do you want to share something as well too?
Just what I noticed actually is I've been taking this product since 2018, right, when it was released, and even before that in December. But anyways, what I noticed really is when I had COVID, the taste was even worse. And then that's when you realize, that when it tastes so bad, it was so bitter that when I take it, I had to eat candy, the Welter's candy, to mask the taste after I take it. That's how bad it was, Renee. Oh my God. It's like, oh, what happened here? So that means when we have, even if it's bitter, too bitter, and it's really tastes really bad for the person to take it, that means there's a lot of issues. Something is
Even
wrong
more.
in,
Yeah.
because that's what I know. Because I was first my friend had a COVID, and she said, oh, he said, take FOL, take FOL. And she said, oh, this FOL is so bad, it's so bitter. Da, da, da. So I said, no, it's actually a little bit sweet. And then when I had it, I was like, oh my God, it is really horrible. So that's how when I know it is better when it's like you're not feeling well inside. There's something wrong inside your body. But when I had COVID, it was worse. It was the worst taste I ever tasted in since taking FOL. I said, wow, that means it needs to like really fix so much inside when I tasted it bad. But after, because I was taking it one full dropper every 4 hours, and after that it was like the next day it tastes go back to the tasting like normal, bittersweet.
Yeah.
So I just want to add that.
And you know what? I mean, thank you, Nora, for sharing that. But I always find that sometimes in handling objections, a good way to deal with that too is to give a point of reference. What I mean by that is I'll say, for example, when you have a cough, remember when we were kids, do you think cough syrup tastes good when you have a cough? You take cough syrup, the medication, it tastes horrible, right? I mean, cough syrup, even when they added so much sugar to make it taste better, it still tastes horrible, right? Because it's going to help you. So I just tell people, look, you might not like the taste, but who cares? Like, just suck it up, man. Just take it because it's going to make it so healthy. Just get a candy afterwards, or just take some juice afterwards. But it's worth it. But give that point of reference. Cough syrup. In fact, most things that are that the doctors prescribe to you don't taste good, and that's why they have to add so much sugar into it. But it's not good for you either, right? So yeah, so that's what I would say to people that have an objection with taste. But again, in my experience, whenever I've told people up front to expect that bitterness, and that if you're bitter, it means that you should take more of it to adjust. It will taste sweet afterwards, and that it's just good for you in the end. I never had personally someone stop taking the product because of the taste. Because they understood up front, and they realized that's actually good for their health. So, but again, is that to say that no one will ever take that'll never happen to you? No, it's possible. And there are some people in the world out there that no matter what you do, they want to eat their donuts. They want to only take things that taste good, and it might not be good for them. So we can't help everyone, but all we can do is do our process. Let's set their expectation up front, and give them that point of reference with the cough medicine tasting bad as well. So hope that helps. Yeah, Rico, I see that you're there too.
Yes, thank you so much. And I believe that's the most important thing that you mentioned is to manage the expectation even before they taste the product, because you don't want, people trying it and then there's a shock of taste to them. So that's basically something that, probably they cannot manage. And one of the things I also say is that just to manage their expectation is before I put a drop, I say, have you ever tasted a tree? So actually, as a matter of fact, we haven't really tasted a tree and we don't know what it tastes like. So what we want to say is that this is a unique property, no preservative, it's all natural. So we just want to make sure that you get the most potent natural extract coming from that tree. So we don't add any preservatives. We opt to put some flavorings in that, but we want to make it as natural as possible so that you will get the best antioxidants as natural as it is. And yeah, that's just about managing expectations, and that's one of the things that I share even before I let them try the product.
Wonderful. Now I do see.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I do share also because I said my own experience when I use Mike as a guinea pig because I asked him to try first. And when he tried, he was like, it's very nice, So I thought it was really good, right? So when I took it, it was so bitter. I started drinking a lot of water, right? So I tell them that's how I felt before. So maybe you may have the same experience, but everyone have the different taste. So I took, after a while, I said, now I feel it's so sweet. So yeah.
Wonderful. Now, there's another great question that just came in here, and I really want to address this one as well too. And that question was, how do you convince customers who say it makes their symptoms worse and blame you for selling it to them? And so that's a great one. I'm really glad that you brought that up to people. And again, we even have our Chinese registered TCM on the call with us, Henry. I'll share really quickly a little bit, and of course, I can also let Henry share with you as well too. So the one thing that I do with people, and let's say they made a comment like, Renee, I I have a huge headache, or I have, my skin got worse, whatever it is, right? My first response is, well, in actuality, I said, Fountain of Life cannot give you whatever it is they're complaining about, whatever it is, headache, I don't know, dry mouth, I don't know, sore throat, fever. I say FOL cannot and does not give you that, because otherwise, if it did, every single other person of the millions of people who are taking this product, every one of them would have the same thing, right? So this is a natural health product that, but what is happening to you, and this is what you explain to them. So now that you addressed it, so again, the first thing to say is, it cannot give you this or make it worse, because if it did, then everyone else in the company would be experiencing the same thing. But what you can now say is that everyone is different, and what you're probably going through is what we call a detox or the healing phase. The healing phase. Just like when you have a wound, an open wound, right? As it's healing, it gets really ugly first, right? It gets scabby, dark, right? And sometimes, and what's actually happening, and you have to explain this really well to your customers, is, look, we all have toxins in our body. We do, right? There's pollution, maybe you drink, maybe you smoke, maybe you're eating food that have pesticides. We all have toxins in the body. We also have an immune system that is designed to push out to help us defend, right? But what happens when you take a high-powered antioxidant like this, what it's going to do is it's going to help your body to improve all the different organs and immune systems to try to push out, even to get rid of the toxins. And in this process, a lot of things can happen. But this is where, again, I always love to use third-party media. And I want to share with you guys this great document that I found. And I'm going to share it with you guys. And if you want it, I can send to you if you want it. But it's all about detoxing. And basically, you can see here, it covers like the most common and uncommon symptoms of detoxing and what they mean. If you have acid reflux or heartburn, anal itch, bleeding gums, bloating, menstrual blood clots, bloody stools, bloody urine, body odor, bubble in the stools, bubbles in the urine, bumps, right? Whatever it is, these are all explanations of what is happening, especially during a detox, right? Some people actually get, for example, like fevers, right? That's actually a common symptom of when you actually get detoxing, right? So this is one document that you can use that can help you to explain to people what is actually happening in your body. But like, for example, headache, the blood is thinning and purifying itself of impurities. Fluid in the head area is being dissolved and pressing against the myofascial nerves, right? See sinus pressures, or itchy throat, or itching, or loss of appetite, or nosebleed. So there's just so many things, because everyone is different, right? Everyone will react differently as they are taking this product, right? Some have less toxins, some have more toxins, right? So, but my whole point though is these are all normal things that can happen to you when you're actually experiencing an actual a healing process called a detox, right? So if you would like this document, please let me know. Oh, someone already said please send. Okay, so let me go here and just grab this one here. Get link. Okay, copy link, done. And then send. Send to everyone. Enjoy that document. I've used it many times as well too. I also have one more one. Hang on here. Hang on here. I've always made different kind of things as well too. Here's another cool article for you guys to read. Oh, I have to accept this. I have to accept. I guess they're here. Hold on. I have to. How do I say? Oh, here it is. Down here. Here it is. Accept the risk and continue. Okay, hold on. So this website here also talks about what happens during detox, right? Like your gut, your liver, your skin, your brain, your mood. So there's all. If you just go online and type in healing crisis, there's a lot of articles that talk about what you might experience during your actual detox phase, right? So here's another good link I can send to you guys as well. If you want to just copy that for yourselves as well too. Okay, and so I mean, like literally, you can go from having no symptoms in a detox to having like the biggest headaches to having weird things like like even a fever. And so Henry, if you are on the, I saw you on the call earlier. I know it's still really early. Henry, if you're there, would you want to share a few words? I know that you're being in the Chinese TCM world. You also have experienced a lot of this kind of stuff as well too. Let me see if Henry, if you're there, Henry, just please unmute yourself and say hi. But otherwise, of course, folks, I hope that you have understand now that what is happening, whenever anyone experiences anything from Fountain of Life, given that they actually did a patch test and they're not, again, allergic to the product, and very few people are, but whatever they're experiencing, it's always comes down to the healing process or the detoxing. And the best way to address that is they can reduce the usage in the beginning so that whatever is the issue is not going to be as persistently bothering them. So they can kind of manage that symptom and just reduce dosage, take more water, but keep on going with it, and eventually their body will adjust to it and push out whatever was the issue, and they'll be fine. And then later on, they can increase the dosages, right? So for example, my uncle Winston in Malaysia, the first time he took FOL, he took too much. He took what I took, which is normal, which is about 1 full dropper, but he felt a little bit dizzy. And that's because he had a natural, a low blood pressure, issue. So this time when he took it again, and the next time I said, reduce your dosage, only do 5 drops in the morning to start. And he did it for a week. He saw his blood pressure got better. Then he increased it to like 10 drops for another week, and slowly just kind of get going higher and higher and higher. So that's where, again, if you know someone, again, that is really unhealthy, regardless, I always tell people, again, setting expectation that when you take this product, you might experience something. Just understand that it's not a bad sign. It means that your body is actually pushing out the toxins. You might get some redness in the skin. You might get, you might feel a bit different. That's normal because your body is actually healing itself. Okay, when you set that expectation up front in the beginning, whatever they experience, because you've already set it up front, they're already expecting it and they know what's happening. They don't make up their own conclusions that this is actually harming me or it's making it worse, right? And again, in the Chinese philosophies, when you have an issue like bad skin, sometimes it might have to get a little bit worse in order for it to get a little bit better later on. And that's because your body is working overtime as well too. So hopefully that helped answer that question. And usually the handling objections can be like a 8-hour training because there's so many different kinds of objections. But overall, you have your My5 to contact for that as well too. And I do want to announce that once a month, we will be doing these trainings in the Asian Bootcamp. We're also going to have one in Toronto for the Toronto time in the future as well too. But all in all, I want to say a big thank you to our wonderful trainers for today. Rico, of course, and Amarjeet for taking their time to train this wonderful afternoon. Of course, I want to give special thanks to Pamela, our wonderful host for today. And of course, for all of our speakers and contributors, and especially for you, for taking the time to be on this call, to invest into yourself. And of course, literally once you learn what to say, this business, it's so simple. For me, it's like, it's automatic. Something comes in, I know what to say. Something comes in, I know what to say. It's become like a normal process. It's become fun and enjoyable. So that being said, I want to thank everyone. I see all your cameras being on there. Hello, Faith. Hello, Mabel. Thanks for being on the call. Thank you everyone for being on today's and our first ever Asia Bootcamp. Congratulations to everybody for being on today, guys. Round of applause for all of us. I have Mahjong waiting for me outside and dinner soon. So thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Renee,
everyone.
I just want to thank you. Thank you for all the things that you have shared with us today. And being a leader that you are, you have shared with us your experience. And this is what is great about this opportunity is when you get to the top, you always have that obligation to help people up. And that's what you do, Renee. You're sharing all of the things that will help us in order for us to grow our business. So just would like to thank you for all your efforts, and of course to Amarjeet as well. Thank you so much, Amarjeet, and
Thank
of course
you.
to Pam. Thank you so much. And
Yes.
I do hope that you have gained much knowledge when it comes to building your business and of course developing yourself and all these things. It's a bit lengthy, but nonetheless, this is one of the things that we should always get into. And not only that, our trainings, we still have our training tonight together with Rosila and our sales development manager, Danny Ferreira. So when we continuously attend these trainings, our knowledge increases. And when we have that knowledge, we will have that confidence, we will have that belief, we will have those everything that we need in order for us to grow and of course achieve whatever we truly want out of life. So once again, thank you so much. I see that a lot of our partners stayed up until the end. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank
And of
you.
course, Amarjeet.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Renee. Thank you very much, Rico. You guys are really amazing. I learn a lot. Even you know, we thought we know a lot of things, but we still every day is refreshing our mind, and it's amazing training that is given. And thank you so much, Renee, once again, as well as Rico and Pamela to host, and all the participants